How to prevent computer health problems. Your computer's constantly working hard. In some cases, 7 days a week, 24/7. So how do you prevent the health problems to make sure that it works as good as it can do? So we've come up with 7 things that you need to look out for on your device that will really help you get the most out of your device working well day to day, but also the longevity of the device. So number 1 is updates. Software updates and patches. You need to make sure that all of your software that you're using day to day is always kept up to date. That can be up to date in terms of the actual version or the security updates and the patches. And also sometimes when you have one bit of software that's up to date, it can then push out of sync the other bits of software. And we're also talking about the operating system. So if you're using Windows 11, for example, it's updating the main operating system on the device plus the software that you use. Number 2 is run security scans. This is so important. There's so many different types of ways that hackers will get in, or there could be gaps that you just don't know about. And running regular scans is really important. Also, by default, the automatic scans might be set at, let's say, 1 in the morning. If you're using a laptop, it means the device is always switched off when that scan is running. So if you want automated scans, just make sure that you do them during office hours. If you go to lunch at the same time, then that's always a good time of day when you would lock the machine so that no one can actually see your data, but it's still on so that these scans can run in the background. 3, clean the device. This is often overlooked. The device is always on. And one part of that is that there's fans inside the device that suck in the dust. And if you're in a dusty environment, or you're in an environment where you've got lots of wooden floors, hard desks, etc., the dust has nowhere to go. So these machines, they're constantly sucking in everything within the environment. So physically keeping it clean from a hardware perspective as well. Also cleaning it antibacterially, because often germs are spread throughout the day, different users using the devices. So make sure you clean it physically as well. 4th is manage the storage. If you fill the device up, it literally will fall over, crash. You don't want that to happen. But also you might have a load of stuff on there that you don't need. And the device will run better the less it's got on there, because the device does something called indexing. So if you've got years and years and years of data, half of it is all just rubbish that you're never going to use, then constantly your machine is indexing all of that data. So when you then search for things, it constantly looks through everything. If there's stuff on there that you don't need, just get rid of it, delete it. It's causing the machine to run slower, and it's causing you to be less efficient. 5th is cybersecurity. You need to make sure that it's as strong as it can be on that device. We've already said about patches and security updates, but then it's also the software and how you're logging in. Making sure that there's a really good password policy and password manager on the device so that everything that you log into is always unique. Also, so that the device locks itself, so that if you leave the device for more than, say, a couple of minutes, it will automatically lock itself so that other users can't get into it. And also, most machines have got, whether it's the facial recognition, whether it's the fingerprint scanner, use these security devices so that if your machine was to get stolen, it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And that also includes encrypting the device. The 6th is to check the health of the device. This is making sure that it is actually running well. So whether it's the battery health, whether it's the machine that's not overrunning itself, you can check things like the CPU usage, that's the main processor, the brain of the machine. You always want to make sure that the machine is working to its own power capability. If you're constantly overworking the machine, it's not going to perform very well. It's going to slow you down, but also the chance of it crashing and overloading is so much higher. Then imagine if the machine crashes, you might lose a day's worth of work. So you need to make sure that you're constantly making sure that the device is working within its capabilities and then you're not overstressing it. And then finally, we'd say get professional IT advice. You need to make sure that the devices are up to date for today's spec. If you're looking at cybersecurity in the same way that you did 2 years ago, you are out of date. AI has massively increased the curve and the chance of your device becoming unsecure. But also, it's not just a case of a virus will show up straight away. There's so many different things within there that it could possibly have something called a keystroke logger that will just hide within the device, and you might not be able to know or find that type of software that's on there. So you should always use a professional IT provider that understands how the devices should be set up, and then they'll also run through things like a full disaster plan with you, so that if the device fails, whether it's through human error, the machine itself crashes, whether it gets stolen, you know exactly what is the implications. Are you going to lose data, or is it backed up? Is it just the device that's going to go, but you'll be able to replicate all of the settings onto a new device? All these different questions, that's when you really need a professional IT provider that's going to be able to answer those questions, give you assurances, and most importantly, allow you to sleep well at night. Keeping your computers healthy is the number one way that you're going to make sure that they're fully productive and that it enables the growth of your business in a safe and secure way. Syn-Star have been helping businesses like yours for over 20 years do exactly that. So, if you're struggling with any parts of your cybersecurity, or you're just unsure of how technology should be helping your business, especially in this era with AI completely changing the game, then Syn-Star can help. We don't just fix issues, we prevent them. So for a free IT review, please click on the link.